Chris Gore got the knowledge in store. Oh yeah, Alan Ng watching chocolate with flair. Movie and TV show reviews that you need. Film threads on fire, we're planting the seeds. Film thread, we keep it real. Dive into the stories, you know the deal. Turn the phone, it's the place to be. Movie lovers gather round. 1, 2, 3. From blockbusters to indie gold. Oh yeah, Chris and Alan break the mold. Pop your corn, turn down the lights. Get ready to groove through movie nights. Film thread, we keep it real. Dive into the stories, you know the deal.
Happy Wednesday, everyone. This is Hollywood on the Rocks on a Wednesday. I gotta turn that down. Today on the show, Thunderbolts, our review. We will do it live. Lots of news stories, including news related to Marvel. We'll probably talk Star Wars. I'm not gonna lie. It'll come up. In some way, it will come up. Alan Ng is here, waiting in the wings. Lots going on. Let's get started. Let's go. Let's start the show. Come on. It's Wednesday. I know Alan is here, and I have someone very special to introduce him.
I'm really busy at the moment with Dr. Doom, but I'll say it, Alan.
Yeah. Hello.
How are you?
Good. Gary let you off the show finally?
I finally left. I left Nerdrotic Nooner. I finally got off. Moments. I was eating on there. I did a little mukbang with my fruit and oatmeal. Very exciting stuff. Very boring lunch, but there you go.
Yeah.
We have so much, Alan. We have so much. You're getting hammered for your review on the website. We're going to go to it and show the comments along with comments on your Rotten Tomatoes abstract. They take a line or two from your review, posted on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, they like to screw me on those, by the way.
and even on X. I don't know what it is. I mean, we will get to the review itself. We have news we want to go over first. So give us 30 minutes. We'll wait for people to show up, do a couple fun news stories. We have fun news stories to do until we get to our review. But we're kind of in the minority in this of being people who dislike the film. We're
part of the 12%.
Yeah. That do not like it. The 12%. What is your mug?
Oh, the world's best boss. Yeah.
What are you doing with my mug?
I know. I'm drinking tea.
Well, I got decaf coffee because it's the afternoon. So here we go.
All right.
Let's see who's here before we get into it. Going to comments. Let's go. Alan, if you would.
Bill S. Preston Esquire. Hey, it's a valid question. I started checking G&G daily in the morning to make sure Chris isn't on.
Well, I am usually walking in the morning. I walk for about an hour in the morning, and I listen to G&G daily in the morning at 8 a.m. my time. So there you go.
Very nice. All right. Mr. D-Man 21. He finally got off. Yeah, Chris, you finally got off.
Exactly.
Let's see. Zoomiest, Chris's Marvel gear.
Well, I bought this years ago. This is a very old hoodie. I think I got from Target, and it's Captain America related.
And Nongmar, how's everyone's mental health?
Well, after that movie the other night, not great, but I will improve it. I'm going to see Revenge of the Sith tonight.
Finally.
AMC Burbank 16, last day I can see it. I'm going. So there you go.
And play the high note for 5 Australian. David Harbour's Russian shtick might be the most unfunny thing I've seen in years. Honestly, Cap 4's trailer was much better than the Thunderbolts trailer.
Yeah. And we'll get to other Thunderbolts comments here. I'm going to save them. Okay. Atomic Lori. Shout out to Atomic Lori right now. And speaking of, we have new. I got to show you this, Alan. the shop, the Film Threat shop, we have, by popular request,
Aw.
stuff for dogs. Your dog Molly can get some dog. We have a leash, and we got a little headband thing for your dog. I don't know. We had a discussion about the designs. I'm not convinced. We may switch. We've got bucket hats, sandals, and muscle tees.
Oh,
Look
hey,
at
there you go.
this.
Look
There
at that.
we go. Now we're talking.
Show us
muscle,
that picture right there. Yeah, there you
There you
go.
go.
Muscle shirt.
muscle t-shirt.
Come on,
Suitable-
guys.
Suitable for men or women, no matter how you identify. Shorts, bucket hats, a drawstring thing, mugs, designs. Get them quick because the design will probably change. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. I was not super happy with this design. We had a discussion, but I know a way to do it. The Film Threat fist with the Film Threat soap. Make that the soap and the fist a design on. Do that as a montage. That'll be fun.
Hey.
So go to shop.filmthreat.com. Support our work by picking up some merch. And thumbs up 1981 for 199. Gore, don't ever change ever. Well, thank you for that. Yeah, I can be a bit of a curmudgeon. Even though Alan stole my mug. I can't believe, how could he do that to me?
Well, you can go to Universal Studios and get one yourself.
I'll do that. We've got some news stories to get into, and let's just go and some treats. I have a few treats you didn't know about. If you watch a lot of the channels, they kind of, meander around the same stories. We try to be different and talk about things you may not have heard about. And I got a treat for you. So I know that everyone in our audience will love it. But let's start with this. The Oscars' new viewing requirements. There's a loophole. I'm going to bring up the story, Alan. I know you have the synopsis from Variety. Oscars' new rule requiring voters to watch all nominees could reshape awards campaigning. But Academy members already found loopholes. Alan, if you would proceed with the story.
All right. The Academy has introduced a major new rule requiring Oscar voters to actually watch every film in the category before voting and sign off on where and when they saw it, dubbed unofficially as the Brutalist rule, after Brady Corbet's lengthy film, The Brutalist, swept awards despite many voters admitting they never watched it. The rule aims to restore fairness and credibility to the process. This was overdue, one producer told Variety. Over fucking due. Historically, members voted based on buzz, campaign pressure, or personal connections. You think I'm voting against my own campaign? Laughed one executive. I'm voting for my stuff. Some even admitted to letting films play on mute or while out in the house just to check in the viewed box. Despite skepticism, the Academy insists the reaction has been overwhelmingly positive, with many members calling for accountability. Still, some remain doubtful about enforcement. The whole system is based on trust, and trust in Hollywood? Bullshit, says one executive branch member. Scott Schumann of AMC Networks offered a more hopeful view. It is our responsibility, and the fact that they had to put it on paper is a little bit eye-opening. The Academy hopes to change along with new categories like Best Casting, and upcoming recognitions for stunts will strengthen the Oscars' nearly century-old legacy.
There you go. Alan, what did you think of that? And I do know, we as members of the Critics' Choice Association, we have access to an app that lets us view the Oscar nominees. It's all the studios, it's really convenient. I prefer in theater. I like to see at least the Best Picture nominees I will see in a theater. And I think with the exception of, with one or two, I saw them all, but I watched them and you can tell. In fact, it will leave off. If you pause it, it'll save your place when watching it, which is convenient. But someone could just press play and just let it, do whatever. What do you think of this?
Yeah, I mean, again, the first reaction is this wasn't a rule in the first place. The second, I think there will be cheaters, and I think that number will be small, to almost inconsequential to the final results. Yeah, accountability is great, and I think that's what they're going for here. I'm hopeful for this. I think there are movies that should have been nominated / should have won that I have a feeling wasn't being watched by the Academy. So this is a good thing.
Well,
I mean, do you think the cheating is going to really be a factor?
I think what they should say to people, members of the Academy,
Mhm.
if you have not seen all the nominees in a category in which you are voting, you're allowed to not vote.
Yeah.
That's the simple solve. Be honest. Be honest. I take our voting very seriously.
Mhm.
You and I even trade notes on stuff.
Yeah.
And I will go this past year, I went to the Academy Museum. I saw all the documentary shorts, the narrative shorts, and the animated shorts. I saw them all. They put them in theaters. We're lucky here. And I went to see the doc shorts at the Academy. The ticket was like $8. It was great. So I like to see all of them. And so so at least I have some idea about who should win. So make of that what you will, but you should be able to abstain from voting if you have not seen them all. It's okay. Vote in the categories in which, like, if you're an actor, hey, I saw all the nominees in the category of best actor. I'm an actor. I'll vote in that category, but not in categories where I haven't seen everything. That's the solve. I mean, it's still the honor system, which we see this graphic of Oscar holding up his hand,
being sworn in,
in a sense. But that's the way. It's just like, look, be honest, and you'll see it change a lot. If you have not seen them all, don't vote. If you've seen them all, vote for what you think is best. So much of the time we spend on like what movie deserves to win, but what needs help. This movie made too much money. It doesn't need help. Let's help this smaller movie, not as good, but deserving recognition. Moonlight.
I know people talk that way. They talk like a campaign.
Yes.
Like, this was too popular. So let's do this one. The other thing is, I would make one amendment that in the case of The Brutalist, if a movie is over 3 hours long, you're allowed to only watch 60% of the movie, which is what I did because it was just going on forever. And
I saw The Brutalist at in the theater. Yeah. It was much better in the theater. I love the first half. Second half, it goes off the rails.
Yeah,
and I like kind of like parts of that movie for certain reasons, and I really love the score. The fact that it was made for 10 million is shocking.
Yeah,
shocking.
But there was one scene that just kind of like made me say, "Yeah, I'm done with this movie."
Is it in the second half?
It is in the second half.
I know the scene.
Yes, there was some.
It reminds me of a scene from Star Wars.
from Andor, you're saying?
From Andor. Yeah. Okay, let's we're gonna pivot. We will get to comments here, but we have a lot of stuff to go over. I love Pee Wee Herman. Yeah. Paul Rubens as Pee Wee Herman is amazing. And there is an upcoming documentary. I believe it's on Max. And we are going to, I have not actually watched it. I have not seen it. I saw it turn up. So I'm going to save this.
Oh, it's on Max.
Yeah, it's an HBO original. It will be on Max, not yet. I want to watch this trailer with you because I'm a fan. I watched it relentlessly in my 20s. When I was a kid, I watched the show. Actually, was it late teens, 20s, whatever. Back when the show was around, the original show, that was a show that like towed the line of it's kind of like nudge to adults, but kids could enjoy it. I collected the action figures, loved Pee Wee Herman. It was tragic how he was kind of taken down publicly And then he had a resurgence. He did a live show, and I was so fortunate to go see. I saw his live show. That was, I believe it was around maybe 2009, 2010. He did this tour with a live show. It was a very intimate setting. It was fantastic. Let's watch this trailer, Alan. And then I have other Pee-wee news that might interest you. Let's see this. I got a little choked up there.
Yeah.
I got a little choked up. Wow.
It's a documentary. You're glad it was made and just in time.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Just, it was really a phenomenon in a way. Like, I liked that he had a private life and he was known as this character, and it is beloved to today. You can't go to a convention and not see Pee-wee figures or Pee-wee or Cherry and all the characters. You know what was so funny? That show, guess what? It was really diverse, not forced, just a very diverse cast, not like just they got really good actors. I mean, oh my God, Lawrence Fishburne. And
he was on the TV show, right?
Yeah. He was on the TV show. That was, I mean, just all the different characters, all the things, you know, the secret word of the day, just everything about that show. Miss Yvonne. I mean, it was, you know what? It was kind of gay. Let's not. And Keith Haring did things like help design with the set and certain characters.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, there are a few movies that I have seen well in the hundreds, and Pee-wee's Big Adventure is one of those movies.
Wow. Well, I have some news here. Jay Ward, if you know who Jay Ward is, famous artist.
Is he still around?
Well, there is on Van Eaton Galleries and Auctions, the estate of Jay Ward, they are selling a Pee-wee's actual bike. The bike that Pee-wee had is part of this auction, and you know, see it. I mean, I'm not gonna bid on that. I have no chance of getting it, nor do I have the money. But you can go to Vega, it's vegalleries.com and look for it. It's on sale. The actual Pee-wee's bike. So I don't know. That's
by the way, you can
cool.
bid on it. You just won't win.
You can bid on it. But yeah, the bike that Paul Rubens had from Pee-wee's Big Adventure, that's awesome. But I will watch that 2-part series.
Yeah, me too, definitely.
Yeah, we should review it.
This is
on
one
the
of the
show.
movies. This is the one of the movies that got me pissed off at Sundance. Because
Why?
it was unavailable to us people who were doing Sundance online.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. It's finally on Max.
Yeah.
I want to know the answer to this question. Why does Yoda speak backwards? George Lucas, I'm not sure if you're aware, as part of the TCM, Turner Classic Movie Film Festival, there was a screening of The Empire Strikes Back. And George Lucas did a Q&A. And there are clips online, and you should look up all these clips. I had a chance to do the red carpet, but I don't like and/or ever do red carpets. I just wanted to see the movie. But here George Lucas talks about why Yoda speaks backwards. I think it's very interesting. Let's check out this short clip. 1 minute.
Why does Yoda speak backwards?
Well, I will tell you.
Okay, thank you.
Yoda had a very distinctive way of talking because, and it was done purposely because if you were speaking regular English or people don't listen that much. But if he has an accent or it's really hard to understand what he's saying, they focus on what he's saying. And what he was basically the philosopher of the movie.
Right.
So he was talking about all of the things, in long talking scenes and stuff where I had to figure out a way to get people to actually listen, especially 12-year-olds.
All right, I'll give it a try.
No, try not. Do or do not. 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 Try not There is no try.
So you were worried that if he just said it regularly, it would be boring and kids wouldn't listen.
That's right.
So you're just like, I'll just switch some words around.
You're hired.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah,
That's
very
great.
true.
I love that. You know what? That is why at the 50th anniversary of Star Wars, which is in 2027,
Mhm.
George Lucas should be there. I only care about George. And I'll be at Star Wars Celebration in 2027. I was at the Star Trek 50th anniversary in, was it 2016? Yeah, 2016 or around there. The 50th anniversary of Star Trek. I was there at Star Trek Las Vegas. 50th anniversary of Star Wars. I think it'll be the last time I ever go to a Star Wars celebration. I can tell you that. But
Unless Mandalorian is a great movie.
I don't know about Mandalorian being a great movie, Alan. I don't think that's going to happen. One more quick news story before we get to.
Here's the thing about Yoda, though. Here's the thing about Yoda.
Yes.
Yeah, no, you're gonna. Revenge of the Sith is essentially it's a Yoda movie, and you're gonna notice him talking backwards because he talks a lot in this movie, and I think George is right. You hear what he says. You are drawn when he speaks. You are drawn to what he says, and you don't intentionally stop and listen to someone or any of the other characters in that movie like you do with Yoda. And there's a bit of brilliance there.
Quick news story here before we get to Thunderbolts. David Zucker snubbed for the new Naked Gun. Now we did a reaction to the new Naked Gun trailer with Liam Neeson. Looks amazing. Paul Walter Hauser's in that movie. It looks really funny. We saw an extended preview at CinemaCon. It's going to be hysterical. Well, from I believe this is from Dave Rubin's Instagram. Let's look at what this. I don't know. You can't really start or stop Instagram clips. Can I find this on? Is there a YouTube version? We have to vet these, so maybe not do this in future. But let's. I'm going to turn on the sound and let's hear what David Zucker has to say.
Don't know what good or bad is.
So
we're going to have to raise some money from billionaires.
But I know you're not pissed about it. I know you're not, because we had dinner last night.
Right.
You're not pissed about it. Like, it's like, okay, they gave it to him, so be it. And Seth MacFarlane is kind of social justice warrior and whatever. Some people like Family Guy, some people don't, or whatever. But why do you think they did not give it to you?
Seth MacFarlane has, between Family Guy and Ted and some of the other stuff, he has bigger grosses than I did. But that's probably adjusted for, $20.
Sure.
And he's Seth MacFarlane. It's like, when you say Seth MacFarlane, you can hear the chorus. He refused to meet with me.
I don't care about Seth
but
MacFarlane.
he also called me.
Yeah.
And we had this 15-minute conversation where he just told me how much he worships the Naked Gun, Top Secret, Airplane, everything. But yet, what am I? Yet it's just like, and so I kind of said gently, but that, Seth, I had a script, and he said it was the first he heard of it.
First he heard of it, and last you heard of him.
Yeah, last I heard of him.
Well, there you go. That's the clip. I think clips are better to show from X because you can start and stop and pause. But any case, not surprised. I still think it'd be, I don't know why. I think it's a lot of business BS behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. If Seth MacFarlane looked at David Zucker's script and he used something, he'd have to share credit, which is credit. Sharing credit is sharing money.
Yep.
So this is very political. Seth was hired to do a job. He's doing the job.
Yeah, well, there's a reason that interview's on the Dave Rubin show.
Right.
That's part of the other reason, because I know David Zucker came out or switched parties back in the early 2000s. And that might have a little bit of something to do with it as well.
Yeah. I mean, Dave Rubin very famously was left-leaning. He was he was on the Young Turks. Yeah, and then he switched. He switched to the right and does a podcast. I occasionally see clips. So that's interesting, but no reason Zucker. I hope he gets money. I hope David Zucker is sharing in money, because there would be certainly Seth MacFarlane owes something to him for what how comedy has evolved. Seth MacFarlane can do what he does now, due in no small part to David Zucker. Right? This is obvious.
That's like saying, I hope Jack Kirby gets money.
Yes, I hope. Well, the estate of Jack Kirby. Well, there you go. It's kind of sad, but what can you do? Let's go to comments here. And while we do that, Alan, I'm going to be on a short break. So you run the comments. I'll be right back and we'll get to Thunderbolts.
All right. M. Spencer for 2. Doggy Style. Was that your new Dave Filoni segment? Waka Waka. Wes Ray. Hey, Film Thread. I finally hit my midlife crisis. Happy birthday. Fellows, Westerns. I mildly enjoyed them in the past, but for about 2 weeks now, I've been watching them almost exclusively. I can't get enough. My father, anytime I go to his house, all he watches are Westerns. When he moved to the new house after my mom died, it was very important that the cable stations he got had Western channels, and we got him a Roku TV that had to have Western channels as well. So, yes. Here we go. How Techniques asks, how many of them actually watched Moonlight? Yes, exactly. Brock Samsonite, Demi Moore got robbed. The Academy is fixed. ADL is 24. Make people answer a questionnaire after the ending of the film. All right. Wolf X as for Asin. I used to watch your DVD. Okay, actually, that's for Chris. Well, he can hear. I used to watch your DVD Doomsdays on G4. I believe that your takes are here and there, but all around you have the voice of a lot of normal people in the world. Thank you, and keep doing what you do.
You know what? We all have unique ways of looking at things. Part of why I enjoy this show. Am I frozen now?
Yeah.
Okay. Part of why I'll leave and come back. Part of why I enjoy doing this show is that with Alan is we agree about half the time, and half the time we don't agree, and that's the fun of doing this show. So, yeah, thank you for that. And I don't like to look at things in a necessarily normal way. I like to say, here's a different way of looking at this that might change your mind. It might not. But one of the things I've always done with Film Threat is look at things uniquely. So I'm going to go and come back, Alan. I'm going to have to probably bail out, but I'll be back. Keep reading super chats and we'll get to our review.
Okay, here we go. Uncle Jimmy, word of the day, India. Let's see. Here we go. Matthew Hammond for 2. Why did Tim Burton never cast Paul Rubens? I assume you're saying that after Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Yeah, don't know. I think did he fit the right tone for Batman? That's the thing. The Dark Knight Returns. There was a bicycle recently discovered under the Alamo during an archaeological discovery. You mean when they dug up the basement in the Alamo? Jim Branville. Hey, Jim, became a YouTube member. Yeah, it's been a while. We haven't talked in a while. All right. Helios ending for 2 Canadian. Let Qui-Gons be Qui-Gons. Dr. Certifiable for 2. Good idea George had. See what's that? Good idea George had. Pilgrim Media gave us a $1 super chat. And for 2 more, Afternoon Gents, thanks for the shows. That's it. That's all we're at here. Let me see. All right, so we'll go into the chat here until Chris gets back. Glenuccio. Hey, Glenn. Zucker had a full script of Naked Gun 4, and they said no, idiotic. The full interview is great. Zucker explains why the new one doesn't stay true to Naked Gun. It's just a fan version. Yeah, I think was it 100 Days to Die, 100 Ways to Die in the West? I think that was his attempt to do the old Zucker Abrahams thing, and I found that one mildly funny. Let's see. Oh yeah, Patrick Lemire. He was in Batman Returns. Paul Rubens. Let's see. Chris and Alan, favorite Lord of the Rings movie. Gosh. To me, it has to be the first one. But it gets better from there. So I just canceled myself out there. Let's see. Okay, there's Glenn's, and I believe Chris is coming back. There he is.
There we go. All right. Do we have more comments? Let's finish them up.
No, we're done.
Go. All right. Here we go, Alan. It's time. Let's talk about Thunderbolts. Tell me, Alan, the story of the Thunderbolts in brief. This will be non-spoiler mostly. We'll get to spoilers. Go for it.
Okay. Well, the movie opens with Yelena on top of a building feeling depressed. And in order to deal with her depression, she asks Valentina, played by Julia Louis-Dreyfus, to give her one more assignment, or give her assignments that give her a more public view. You know, maybe she wants to be a real Avenger, and she does. There's a research facility that Valentina needs destroyed because she's about to be impeached as the CIA director. So she sends Yelena there to clean things up, but then there's John Walker. Oh, there's Ghost. There's Taskmaster. They were all sent there to kill each other.
They were set up. They were set up.
And they realize that Valentina is not their friend. They discover an experiment of sort in Bob, and they decide that they need to take down Valentina. And they have to somehow get out of this facility, find Valentina, and let justice be done. And Bucky is a congressman who is trying to help impeach Valentina. There you go. That's Thunderbolts.
That's the setup. The first, and by the way, it should be noted that Geraldine Viswanathan plays Mel. That is her assistant, her Valentina's assistant, who
we know her for some reason,
cleans up messes. She was in a little indie sci-fi movie we reviewed a couple years ago. In fact, I interviewed her as part of that. I like her, comedic actress. Mm-hmm. So, any case, bit character. So they meet under these circumstances, realize that they've got to team up in order to exit the facility. They meet Bob, played by Lewis Pullman. And the joke is he's Bob. You know, I'm just Bob, kind of a mental patient. I was here being experimented on, who joins the trio in their attempt to escape the facility unscathed, which ends up with them teaming up. Of course, David Harbour, who plays Alexei Shostakov, he joins this ragtag group. Obviously, this is Marvel's attempt at the Suicide Squad, and it lands with a dud for several reasons. One, make no mistake, this is Girl Boss Avengers. Florence Pugh is the lead of this movie, and I don't believe she has the gravitas or the likability. She's just not likable. She is fine as a side character, but she, I don't think, has the weight to be front and center. Now, Scarlett Johansson is Black Widow. I believe she has what it takes to actually be front and center as that lead. Florence Pugh, as she portrays this character, not the actress, I think she's very good. But the choice for how they made this character does not feel like a lead role to me. It's ensemble, but Black Widow, Yelena, is the lead of this film. So much doesn't work. Let's start with what doesn't work. This is low budget Marvel. The first half hour of the movie just trying to failed attempts to escape this facility, and then realizing that Bob has some strange superpowers he can't really control. It's a little weird. Something's weird with Bob. We better watch Bob.
Yeah,
You know
don't
where that's
spoil what his real name is in the movie.
Everything is quippy. Nothing matters. Nothing is serious. Even though life and death is at stake, and many sort of no-faced people, meaning this is really a thing in these kind of movies where you see like robots, faceless, military guys in black gear with black helmets on, faceless, being killed left and right like nothing. Okay. And I think you can tell which character will not survive to be a part of the Thunderbolts. And
I mean, in this poster here, one of these characters doesn't survive.
Yes. Take a guess. It's all leading towards a showdown with a mentally ill, superpowered being that can put you into the void, which makes you confront your inner demons, mental illness. Because the movie, as I'm told, is about mental illness. Because Bob is mentally ill. It's this, when Marvel decided that every Marvel movie had to be quippy and the circumstances they were in were not life and death, or that like nothing mattered, that's when they went downhill, and this continues down that hill. While I'll just say that the screening we were at, people were laughing to the point where I'm like, why is everyone laughing so hard? And I looked at, you and Dante and our row, people were just quiet, kind of maybe enjoying the movie, but not laughing in a gregarious way. The whole movie felt flat. It felt by the numbers Marvel, and it without giving anything away, it ends similar to how Captain America Brave New World ended, where the main antagonist is taken out with empathy. I'm not making this up, folks. Empathy.
Yeah. And they do it 2 films in a row.
It just, maybe they have maybe what because it got boring with Marvel in a little bit, where they'd introduce a villain, the villain would lose, introduce a villain, the villain would lose. You know what? Maybe the villain just gets away. That's what happened in the comics a lot. The villain would retreat to fight another day, or maybe the heroes don't always win. But I found this movie unsatisfying. It attempts to set up things like the Fantastic Four and other events in the Marvel universe. And I was left, even though I really like so many of these actors. Wyatt Russell is really good as U.S. Agent. Sebastian Stan is the lead of this movie, but he's not put front and center. Mm-hmm. He's a side character. He has the weight. He's also been nominated for an Oscar for Best Actor, by the way. I don't know why he's not more a part of this film. The cast, and I like David Harbour. It's just, again, too much screen time with quippy stuff. The quips ruin this. They really have leaned into, since the first Guardians movie, everything has been quippy. That's it. That's what Marvel is. And Marvel was best when it balanced quip humor with serious events and things that actually mattered. I'm thinking of movies like Civil War, where there was weight to events, or Infinity War or Endgame.
Yeah, everything that wasn't Guardians of the Galaxy was treated seriously.
Yeah, but now it's Guardians Light. And this is their attempt at Suicide Squad. It misses the mark. And I'm gonna say, we don't always agree, Alan, but I'm gonna say I agree with your review on filmthreat.com. It's a 3 out of 10. Mm-hmm. And it's not gonna bring back It's not going to bring in new fans. And I think normies, because there is homework, you need to have watched the Black Widow movie. You need to have watched the Falcon and Winter Soldier show. You need to have seen Ant-Man and the Wasp to understand Ghost's background. And I think there's just too much to it. And the title, we'll get to spoilers. The title isn't the title of the movie. We'll get into it. Alan, what did you think?
Yeah. I mean, let's make the obvious comparison between this movie and Suicide Squad or The Suicide Squad. You could pick either one. The reason those movies worked much better than this one is because you had a series of characters that had their moments in the movie. They were well-defined characters. We kind of knew what they were. And they did their thing, which is exactly what the Thunderbolts do here. The reason it doesn't work here is this is basically the Yelena and Alexei show, co-starring Bucky.
Right.
Because, who is John Walker? Unless you saw Falcon and Winter Soldier, his story, Ghost. Barely, she does her thing in this movie, but there's not much of a character arc there. Not much of a character arc for John Walker, except for, what he did. And then honestly, I felt bad for one of the characters who doesn't make it very far, because I kind of wanted to at least see something from that character before that character was dispatched. It is not only was this a low budget movie, it was a badly written movie. It was felt like it was written by amateurs, someone who got their chance at the first time to write an action movie, a superhero action movie, and of course someone got to that person and said, "Yeah, but let's make it about something different. Let's make it about mental health, because that's what the world is going through right now, and people want to see superhero movies about mental health, because we can all relate to that." And I hate to say it, but no, we can't relate to it, or relate to it in a way that's exciting for us, or to where we want to pay money to see a movie about mental health. And it is just an ill-conceived movie, and as you say, it is just one quippy one-liner after the other. It doesn't stop. When you get to Valentina, she, Elaine from Seinfeld, you've got that thing going. Look, if no one on the screen takes this movie seriously, then why should I take this movie seriously? And I think that's the feeling people get. I think the reviews that have come out so far, it feels more like they're responding to people like us who didn't like the movie and need to go out of their way to prove that we're wrong. No, how can you say that about mental health? People are suffering out there. COVID, Trump, whatever. No one's buying it. And I'm really curious just to see how well this movie does at the box office, because look, if it's popular right out of the gate, I guess I was wrong. I guess it is a good movie. But I just feel like we deserve better. We have definitely seen better superhero movies. And any talk of comparing this movie to the first, to all the movies up until Endgame, to compare it to that is laughable, because this is nowhere near any of those. And so, look, I can't recommend this movie in any way. It is just derivative. I get it. They're bad guys, bad guys put together to become a good guy group. That idea is a good idea, but it's not pulled off in any way here.
And worse, this is the last I'll say, and we will do spoilers later. The ending is a joke. Yeah. The ending of the movie is one big joke about the title of the movie. And I won't reveal that now, but I will later. So we'll get to that, but I can't recommend.
Can I just say that the ending before that one, the main ending, I mean, it's probably the first Marvel superhero ending that doesn't use superpowers in any way.
And it's a joke. So if in world it's a joke, and I'm not supposed to take it seriously, then you shouldn't either. And
Here, let me recommend a better movie that is in the theme and vein of this. New Mutants.
well, there you are. New Mutants. I did not see that one coming.
Yeah. I mean,
Let's
it's
go-
essentially the same thing. Let's just put it that way.
Let's go to comments.
Okay. I will not eat the bugs. Thunderbolts. Asterisk. Batteries not included.
Yeah, let's go to supers first. Alan, if you would do comments, I have to do something here.
Sure. Helios ending for 5 Canadian. Excuse me. They need to stop making ensemble superhero movies. Too many characters. Avengers only worked because they were established and played by action stars. Yeah, and it was the culmination of, hey, let's get these people together in a movie. And they're never as good as the solo films. And certainly here, these are characters we really don't care about, unlike the others. Here we go. Chwatism. Does Elaine get a get out moment? Let's see. I'm not sure. I unfortunately didn't really watch that show. Jeremiah Hembry for 5. Does James Gunn make any bad references toward Donald Trump or Elon Musk, with Elon Musk being represented as Lex Luthor? Is it true? Is that the rumor?
No, Jeremiah. There's nothing about Elon Musk or Trump that I'm aware.
Okay. So, okay. Eddie Brock, 9043 for 5, 99 euros. Mel is Melissa Gold / Songbird, one of the first Thunderbolts from the comics. So, Marvel sidelined one of the founding Thunderbolts in its own movie. Let's also call out the fact that not a lot of people read Thunderbolts, I would imagine, especially the average moviegoer. The other thing is The Void. I didn't know The Void was a comic book thing. And I don't think anyone else does too who didn't read comic books. C Black for 199. Century deals with mental health in comics. I would imagine they dealt with it better. Angry Shellback for 2. I feel sorry for Wyatt Russell. Sad. Yeah, we got that one. We did that one. Sons and Shadows. Stephen Yeun dodged a bullet. He was originally supposed to be Bob Sentry. Yes.
Stephen Yeun is a really amazing actor. And I think if he would have made a great Shang-Chi.
Mm-hmm.
He would have been great. So
he's Korean.
Yeah, he's Korean, so China would not like him. So, and
Shang-Chi was Chinese. Why are you race swapping?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Bush and Rio Cat. Not gonna lie, I'd watch Thunderbolts if it only had David Harbour as Alexei. Love the first movie, and he'll be the anchor for everyone there. What happened to the mom though? Rachel Weisz. Wes Ray. Chris and Alan should teach a course in gravitas. They could call it Project Gravitas.
We can do that.
Chelsea M. Fighting with words. How passive aggressive. Yeah. Bill W. Member for 5 months. Is Thunderbolts bad enough to be worth a campy watch? Probably.
I mean, I don't know. It's just, this was supposed to get Marvel back on track. Yeah. I just think it is. And I believe there will not be a superhero movie this year that will reach $1 billion at the box office. Minecraft, you'll see all these other movies, probably Lilo and Stitch or How to Train Your Dragon, but not a superhero movie. Look at what's left. Fantastic Four, Superman. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, the only way Superman's going to make it is if it's great. And everything we've heard about it isn't there. It's Helios ending for 2. Mental health A, another lefty self-insert. Exactly.
Yeah.
The nerd far away. I'd flunk the Marvel course. Way too much homework.
Agreed.
Like, apparently you know The Void better than I do. Krista Joe for 499. Marvel went downhill when Feige let Taika Waititi take over the Thor franchise and kept it going. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 knew its limits with humor and mixed well. And I would say the other two as well.
Look, you can have humor in the movies, but it's a balance. It's like the discussion last week about Jar Jar. Jar Jar is not as bad if you cut his screen time down by more than half. He's not that bad of a character.
Yeah. I mean, can you imagine if Civil War or Winter Soldier was just nothing but quippy lines and and no one took anything seriously in those two movies? Jean Hu gifted 5 Film Threat memberships. Thank you
for that. Check out our members channel. I posted a bunch of new stuff, including a Q&A about the movie Friendship. I can't wait to see that.
Yeah. But if you watch that Q&A with Friendship, there's spoilers in it. I should warn you. Narv Metman for $23.99. Thunderbolts was my first MCU movie after Endgame. As a non-comic reader and knowing nothing about lore, it was a okay movie. The mental health theme didn't fit Marvel like that other scene in Andor didn't fit Star Wars.
Oh, good connection. Thank you for that, Narv.
Yeah. C Black for $1.99. Fantastic Four will hit $1 billion. Movie is hiding a lot. Yeah, I mean, if Fantastic Four is great, it could certainly get to $1 billion.
We shall see.
Yeah. ADL is 24. I mean, great movies should get to $1 billion. Let's put it that way. ADL is 24. Words are violence. Silence is violence. The only thing that isn't violence these days is violence.
There you are. Thank you for that comment. I want to pivot for a second, Alan, and I want us to talk about you. Alan Ng's Thunderbolts Backlash. There is a review at filmthreat.com. Maybe you can repost it on the front page. It's fine, Alan. We have too many ads on our own website.
You think?
I need an ad blocker to look at my own website. But Alan Ng's review for Thunderbolts went up yesterday. I'm gonna
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Yes, which was yesterday.
Yes, I have no idea of time anymore.
It's okay. I
woke up thinking it was Friday. By the way,
all good, man. I feel you. It gave it a 3 out of 10 overall, matching what you said here on the channel. But you are getting backlash on social media. You're getting backlash in the comments. I want to read through some of these comments, Alan. Maybe you can share them if you'd like me to share them.
Well, I mean, I'd have to research the Twitter ones, but I have the ones from the website, obviously, because you're on the page right now.
I scroll down. Here's the comment.
They're pretty much these two pretty much sum up what I've been getting. But from Ronald here, interesting take, equating emotional complexity with weakness. Wanting every hero story to be a brawl with capes feels like a bit 15 years out of date. If characters confronting loneliness or depression makes you uncomfortable, maybe it's not the film. That's unserious. Also, calling it a sitcom because the characters don't mope 24/7. Come on. Banter isn't new. It's just a little sharper now. And if empathy being effective in the final act bothers you, maybe revisit why any of these characters started fighting in the first place. This isn't therapy disguised as a movie. It's a film that assumes the audience can handle more than just explosions. I guess you couldn't.
Wow. Wow. And by the way, this is another comment from Chris. That's not me.
I think it is from you, actually.
No, it's not.
Sounds like you. This is a horribly written review. Sounds like the last meeting we had. It feels like you used ChatGPT to write it. Also, you can perpetuate your bias toward anything connected with Disney. This type of agenda-pushing bias has no place when it comes to critic publications. Weak.
Well, and also you were getting harassed. Am I right? You were getting harassed on X? And I'm going to go to the Rotten Tomatoes score as well, because you are in the minority of people. But if you could bring up some of those X comments, I'm going to bring up Rotten Tomatoes. The movie stands at, it's actually decent reviews. It currently stands at 88% with 100 reviews. There's not enough to do top critics yet. And the popcorn meter of audience score, I think the audience score will be similar in the 80s. I do believe it will. The majority audience that will go see the movie. But I'll tell you this, there's a lot of people that won't be going to see this movie. So there you are. I'm going to go to these reviews, and find out what they abstract. I'm going to read some of these, Alan, but you are getting harassed. We'll go to X in a second.
I mean, you might be overstating that a bit, but
well, it's not the first time. Nick Johnson from Vanyaland says it's just abbreviated group therapy.
Sorry.
Hello?
Yeah, sorry. I'm trying to get that back up. Okay, go ahead.
You want to speak aloud your inner monologue or what's going on?
No, I'm trying.
Okay, Nick Johnston from Vanyaland says it's just abbreviated group therapy clad in faux Kevlar spandex, a recitation of traumas without the added benefit of free coffee and powdered donuts. Oh, that was kind of interesting. There you go. From Richard Lawson, a top critic, Alan. Here he says, alas, downbeat little side adventures are not going to get the Marvel engine back up to full speed. Bingo. And so Thunderbolts must inevitably draw the rest of the universe toward it, which makes all of its discrete action seem thin and insufficient. I think that these more negative, more critical reviews are more on the nose with how I saw it. Steven Silber says an underwhelming effort with a structure that feels a lot like a dumping ground for secondary characters that the MCU doesn't know what to do with. Don Shanahan, film obsessive, by embracing the joke of being jokes themselves, it all too often still becomes or stays a joke. Thunderbolts goes to show that when you make something about cheap heroes, you get cheap return. Yeah, I'm only going to the negative ones. From Alan Ng, Thunderbolts tries to turn superheroes into therapists, but all it really does is leave fans desperate for a proper brawl. And Robbie Collin from the Daily Telegraph UK, despite its notionally spiky tone, moroseness is the film's root chord. Yeah, it's very morose.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even want to say dark. Dark is overdone. Siddhant Adlaka from joysauce.com. Until its climactic collapse, Thunderbolts is good enough. It's visually coherent, and it doesn't depend too heavily on having a working knowledge of the Marvel Universe. Then again, is clearing an ever-lowering bar really something to celebrate? They acknowledge the expectations are low. So, from EJ Moreno, Flickering Myth, this one feels like a streaming movie that escaped Disney Plus and somehow stumbled into cinema. Marvel's Discount Suicide Squad. Ooh.
Yeah.
Discount Suicide Squad.
You know, I mean, as problematic as Suicide Squad was, it's still a better movie than this one.
Matt Oakes, these movies aren't just bad in the traditional sense anymore. They're the hollowed out detritus of a crumbling empire, entertainment as empty commerce, and weaponized anticipation. And that's it for the, I would say, honest reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. Mm-hmm. Now at a score of 88, I expect it to drop a little, but not by much.
Yeah.
It'll linger in the 80s, maybe high 70s. We'll see. And the popcorn meter will be kind of match that.
Yeah, I mean, I just get a sense that people are going to this review here, looking at the people who didn't like it, and then going out and trolling them. That certainly happened with the Marvels, and the way that Rotten Tomatoes screwed me over on that one.
Now, what is going on X?
Well, I'm just going to show you one because there's a lot of research I have to do that I wasn't able to do. But from Owen W here, he was kind enough to at least reply to me and not screenshot my tweet. So you want empty action scenes over well-written emotional moments in action, the first of which you can find in any Rock or Statham movie. You know, if you wanted to see that, you went to the wrong movie. The trailers never promised Winter Soldier or The Raid.
Yeah. Well, there you go, Alan.
Well, I mean, it's like if you wanted an action movie, you should have seen an action movie. You shouldn't have seen a superhero movie.
Let's go to comments here.
Gabriel Quiroga. For 5, Sentry in the comics is Marvel's Superman, and his alter ego, the Void, is so terrifying they wiped everyone's memory to stop it. How do you screw that up?
Well, they
How
don't
do you make a movie?
resolve it that way. Let's just say that.
Yeah. Thumbs up 1981 for 199. These folks praising empathy aren't showing any empathy.
True.
Bush and Ryoket. Alan's going to unleash a meteor shower on the earth if we mock him. Beware the Emperor. Fun with collecting. This person sounds like they are using a thesaurus to make themselves sound smarter, but have no clue what they're talking about. LOL. By the way, did you see Bob Chipman's review of Thunderbolts?
No.
Here, yeah, read some and I'll find it because it's kind of funny.
Thumbs up 1981 for 199. What does this guy think a superhero movie is? That's the problem. Marvel doesn't know what a hero is anymore. And even a villain can have heroic or admirable traits. They don't know, but I know this. All these heroes kill people, and they kill a lot in the film. Christopher Moonlight Productions. You get the most flack when you're over the target, Alan.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Certainly
know
feels
that?
that way.
Yeah. Let's talk about this.
Yeah, actually, here I found it. Here, let me.
Okay.
Okay. Here we go. Here's Bob Chipman's. Tell me what you think of this. A Marvel ripoff, a Marvel riff on The Boys. If it were written for adults instead of edgelord teenagers with oppositional defiant disorder.
Yeah, I don't know where.
What does that mean? What is?
I don't know where he got
What
that.
is he saying?
I don't know where. You just want to fight with Movie Bob.
I know. Well, he trolls me a lot, but he's no longer on X.
You know, we'll do a spoiler review, but what I want to do here is this. Chris Claremont, of course, such a prolific writer of X-Men, made stories of the X-Men that are revered to this day, did a recent convention appearance and talked about what may be considered spoilers for Avengers Doomsday. So, okay. Let's see here. I have the video, and we're going to go on X and talk about, I'll show you this really quickly here. But he spoke at this convention. We'll show the video here, but I'll give you the basics. If here we go. Let's show you this from Cosmic Marvel on X. Marvel Comics writer Chris Claremont was doing a panel, and he claimed the upcoming Avengers film will feature the return of Olivia Munn as Psylocke.
Yes.
I saw her giant photo at the Grove. She's in a new Apple Plus TV series coming up. The return of Psylocke, Wolverine killing someone important, Elizabeth Olsen as a good Scarlet Witch, Robert Downey Jr. as multiple characters, including Iron Man, Chris Evans as multiple characters, including evil Captain America, or like Hydra Captain America. So there we go. And Avengers Doomsday, I'm told, will end on a cliffhanger, and Secret Wars is the wrap up. I will, let's get it right from the horse's mouth. I do have a link to the video. What do you think of those spoilers, Alan?
Well, yeah. Let me speak to Robert Downey Jr. as multiple characters, Chris Evans as multiple characters. This is exactly why I hate multiple universes, alternate universes. I hate it in DC. I hate it here now. And this is exactly the reason why I stopped reading Marvel comics. It's just it's weak storytelling, and all it, this whole time travel thing, even in Endgame, I was bothered by it because there's got to be better ways to solve a problem than traveling in time and undoing it.
Well, here we go. Chris Claremont at the Huntsville Pop Culture Expo 2025. This is panel B. And let's hear it directly from him. Okay. And the audio is a little low. So turn it up.
A positive. I mean, we've got Robert Downey Jr. playing evil person, Iron Man. Wait, that's confusing. And then he's playing two other roles. I used to know, but then Chris Evans is playing Captain America, young Captain America, evil Captain America, and Captain Hydra, or something, that Lord Hydra, whatever that. It's like, what the? Why did they just cast the Avengers, the original Avengers, as all the characters, villains, assistants, sidekicks? Yeah. Apparently,
that is a brilliant idea. What did he say?
What was that? I couldn't hear it.
He said, why don't they cast the original Avengers as all the characters? None of this cameo nonsense. Yeah. So all the Avengers play different versions of themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you've got Bruce Banner, Hulk. You've got Black Widow, maybe Hawkeye, Jeremy Renner. You've got Thor, Chris Evans, Captain America, and Iron Man. That's the cast. They just play multiple versions, like Back to the Future 2.
I go for
What do
that.
you think?
Yeah,
that's what.
There's still time to rewrite.
Well, Chris Claremont, they're trying to shoehorn in. There's 25 other characters. I'll let him finish, and we'll talk about it on the end here. But I'm sorry, the audio is low. I've got it boosted as high as I can here. Here we go.
After denying it vociferously for at least a year, what's her face is coming back as Widow, not the Widow.
Scarlett.
No, not Scarlett Johansson. What's her face? Who had the giant rock fall on her?
Scarlet Witch.
Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
Oh, Elizabeth. Scarlet Witch.
President Dalton, right?
His memory is as good as mine.
So she's coming back not only as Scarlet Witch, but a good Scarlet Witch.
Of course.
So I don't know if that means that the Vision's coming back. It's like all the original X-Men are coming back. For 2 weeks, we didn't know if Famke Janssen would come back, but now Famke Janssen is coming back. But she's coming back as Phoenix.
Phoenix, that's big.
Yeah, he wrote that villain, right?
And apparently, Psylocke is coming back.
That's Olivia Munn,
but
Psylocke.
she's no longer Asian.
Wait, what? Maybe someone else playing?
Same outfit.
Yeah, he said something about Asian.
And there's a rumor that Wolverine's going to kill somebody important, which would just. I'm sitting here thinking, why are you going to do this and make us wait for 3 years for the first X-Men movie? Why don't you just make this the first X-Men movie? On? Who cares about the Avengers?
Especially when they're not in the movie.
There you go. So what he said is Psylocke, but she's not Asian. So maybe it's not Olivia Munn. I just only assume.
So why bring back Psylocke?
That audio is very low. Exactly.
Yeah. I'll give him credit. I think I mentioned before, I hate time travel movies, but he did the best one with Days of Future Past, at least the comic series.
Yes. And also Chris Claremont's idea of having just cast the original Avengers as different versions of themselves is a great idea for an Avengers movie. And
although
one of the variants is Tony Stark as Dr. Doom. You don't need this nonsense of the Fantastic Four and then the X-Men and the Thunderbolts and all these other cameos and Owen Wilson and all this nuts. It is going to be, if you think Superman is going to be a mess, this movie will give normie audiences a headache. It's too much. I don't know. Chris Claremont hit the nail on the head. The best idea. Bring back the original Avengers and they play evil and good versions and maybe different versions, and that's it. That would be great.
Yeah, Infinity War had 26 heroes, roughly. That video of the chairs, there are 26 chairs, meaning there's still gonna be more heroes. Marvel can't help itself. They've got to do a cameo fest, and that's what Avengers is feeling like at the moment.
Let's go to comments here. There's a lot of them here. Let's go. Wow.
All right.
Wow.
Mo Sislak for $49.99. Here's the money I would have spent on Marvel slop this weekend. Bucky and Walker are cool characters. Too bad Marvel lost the ability to write male heroes.
Yeah, it's really sad. I think that, first of all, thank you, Mo. That is so generous. We appreciate it. Thank you.
If you think about it, the Thunderbolts aren't villains like the Thunderbolts were. They're just broken heroes.
And we'll get to spoilers.
Yeah.
Should we do a spoiler review today?
No.
Or save it
people
for
see
Friday?
Yeah, let people see it.
Chat, what does chat want?
Yeah, chat. I say this. I need at least 5 of you to go out and see the movie tomorrow, and then come back and let's talk about it.
Alan, what does the chat want?
All right, no, I'm giving the because what are we going to talk about tomorrow if we spoil it now?
Tomorrow, we're not talking about anything.
Friday.
Okay,
I don't know what day it is.
Friday. Should we do our spoiler review on Friday? And we will spoil the entire movie.
Yeah,
I've already spoiled stuff on the Nerdrotic Nooner.
Like I said, I think it'd be great. Just 5 of you in watching us right now. Go see Thunderbolts and then come back in the chat and let's have a conversation about it.
Let's go through these comments first. I have a couple.
Lavender. Oh my God, Munlock.
Yeah, Munlock.
Mike Ritchie. Any advice on starting movie/TV reviews, gents? I enjoy watching your content for a minute. You guys crack me up and speak your mind. Thanks.
Mike Ritchie. Start your channel. Your first 100 videos will suck. Believe me, I watched Alan for hundreds of videos. He was terrible.
We did.
And Alan watched me, and I was. Alan,
you were great.
See, Alan is lying because he cares about my feelings and mental illness. I was terrible. YouTube is different than doing TV. I had to unlearn bad TV habits to do YouTube. So Alan and I sucked. We were terrible. We were losers like the Thunderbolts. And I'm not saying we even know what we're doing now.
Yeah.
We're one of the top 10,000 websites that cover movies on YouTube. But the important thing is to start. You got to get in your 10,000 hours. So just begin, do your first video, and you'll start to notice every time I look for one thing I could do better. And I will never be an Alan, maybe 3 or 4 things. But I'm just saying, I'm just joking around. Look, just look for, after you do your video, look, what is one thing I can do to make it better? It might be a microphone. It might be graphics. It might be a little thing. Maybe have notes on another page. You will find your way. So Mike, the point is to do it, fail until you get better. That's how you do anything. That's how
and if you want to grow your go ahead.
No, discipline. Just if you post reviews, do them at the same time every week. Last thing, and we'll go.
Yeah, and I think a great way to boost subscribers is to team up with someone famous.
That helped Alan.
Yeah.
I'm like Comic-Con famous. If that even, not really.
No, believe me, you're Comic-Con famous. I have to walk with you through Comic-Con, so I know.
Okay.
Change your ways. If they use these movies to eliminate the multiverse and reset the MCU, it might actually be fine. Why do you have to do that? That's the thing. Just do it. Just restart it. You don't need to make a movie to say you're going to do it. David B, I predict so many reshoots for this film. The deleted parts of the disc package will come in a 2 Blu-ray disc.
If they even release it.
Mm-hmm. Sons and Chattel, it'll be the new Psylocke.
By the way, according to the chat and Lori, they want the spoiler review now.
No.
I think we have to do it.
We have to do something on Friday. That's the thing.
We'll do it again.
How many times can we talk about the Thunderbolts?
Alan, let's talk about this story while I wait here. I got some other stuff.
What?
I have to use the restroom real quick.
What did Gary do to you?
I don't know.
How many times are you gonna
I'm having. I had too much coffee today. I had too much coffee. So, yeah, you got to keep up. You got to keep up.
Yeah, got to keep up. Keep it up. Rock it hard. Make it work. And make it so. All right, David B, give us the real name of the movie now. Spoilers on Friday. It's so stupid. It's not even worth it. Thumbs up 1985. Spoil it both days. Yes, please. Now, spoil away. Alan for new Psylocke 100%. There you go. There's your spoiler. Wes Ray, Alan, for Friday shows, you guys could do top 20 boobs in movies where we talk about 10 women. Let's see.
On Film Threat, they're the 50 best boobs in movies.
Yeah.
That's a real article.
Yeah, it's 25 women. Michael Bisping. If Alan doesn't spoil Thunderbolts, he has to explain why he refuses to watch James Cameron. Yeah, that's because you keep going off and doing. There you go.
Yeah,
now you're back.
All right. I say we should do a spoiler review.
Super Manual 27. Incursion, and then just one universe, no more multiverse. I liked the incursion idea, and I was all for it until Secret Wars ruined it. Razorburn for 2. Chris, any panels planned for Dragon Con this year?
Not planned, but hopefully we get one. I was invited to do one. So hopefully that happens again. There you go.
Yeah, unlike Comic Con.
Did you do this?
Yeah, we did that.
Okay, great. Alan, let's just do it. Lori says both of us are having issues. It might be Lori's internet.
No, I think
I froze. Yeah, Garth, you're right. I you know what's so funny? I should wear a diaper on the show. If I wore a diaper, I wouldn't be running to the bathroom.
I know. I was like, I kind of wish I had to go to the bathroom during Thunderbolts, and I certainly had my opportunity.
Yeah. Sons and Shadows gifted 5 Film Threat memberships. Check out the Q&A from Watch the Skies, a movie that will be out in a couple weeks, and I will review it on the show. Looking forward to that one. So, okay, Alan, it's time. Get that poster ready.
Lori got that poster ready.
Lori, get that poster ready. By request of the chat. Why don't we use a different poster? Can we do that? A different poster.
See, that's what happens when you plan on.
From the one, is that different from the other one?
Yes, it is actually. It is. The other one had a certain member in the forefront. That certain member is now in the background.
All right. Well, let's cut all this.
Taskmaster dies.
It's time, Alan, for our spoiler review of Thunderbolts. So if you are watching this video, this will be filled with spoilers, including the ending, including post-credit scenes. So let's get right to it. The biggest spoiler of this movie is that the title, which you could say is kind of clever, that the title Thunderbolts is not the title of this movie. And even Thunderbolts, which was supposed to be inspired by Thunderbolt Ross, is not why they call themselves the Thunderbolts. Do you know why they're called the Thunderbolts, Alan?
Yes, and I cared so much I can't remember it.
It's because when Yelena was a young girl, she was on a young girl that played soccer. She played soccer for a team called the Thunderbolts. So Red Guardian kind of names them the Thunderbolts. The name doesn't stick because the asterisk comes off and they are dubbed in a scene at the end of the movie when Bob is the main antagonist. Bob is dispensed with by the Thunderbolts through empathy. They descend on Elaine from Seinfeld's character. You know her name, Valentina, who plays the role with all the weight of Selena Gomez, her VP character from Veep.
Now, Selena Gomez is the singer.
Is it Selena Gomez?
Yeah.
It might be something else. Anyways, she plays a character in Veep. And she has an impromptu press conference as the Thunderbolts descend to basically, put her under arrest. There's a tarp hiding a bunch of people in the media, and she introduces the Thunderbolts, who have just defeated Sentry, as the new Avengers. And the title of the movie is The New Avengers.
And not only that, they use the actual New Avengers logo from the comic books.
Well, as this final battle kind of echoes of the Battle of New York takes place in the Avengers building is not destroyed, but it takes damage. They then become the New Avengers. They're surprised by this, but Yelena now has a forward-facing public figure. She's now a superhero. They were villains. They now become villains or reviled. They now become heroes. This new team. The post-credit scene is David Harbour as Red Guardian, literally at a grocery store, looking at a box of Wheaties with his face on it as a hero.
And he's trying to
pick up a girl and see if anyone recognizes him. And then let's give you the ending post-credit scene. It's a mid-credit. We are at the Avengers headquarters.
It's a year later.
It's
7 years later.
No,
14
months later. I don't know why it's so specific. 14 months later. They're at the headquarters. They are being sued. We learn they're being sued by Sam Wilson, who over the Avengers name. And they're just hanging out at Avengers headquarters, being quippy and jokey with each other. They kind of have like Red Guardian suggests they change their name to the Avengers with a Z. And then something is on the satellite. What is it? It's the spacecraft of the Fantastic Four. And that's how the movie ends, setting up Fantastic Four. Kind of like that may kind of ruin the ending of FF. Do they cross over into our universe? The 616, do they cross over into our universe at the beginning or end of the movie? What happens? We don't know. We don't know why this is happening. But that's your ending. I think the main spoiler is that this movie, and we'll review it again because I'll see it. I'm going to see it again on Thursday.
You are? Okay.
Seeing maybe it holds up or maybe does it get better on second viewing. I don't know. We'll find out. But there you are. That's the end of the movie. We have now spoiled it. Alan, what else could people? We also know that Taskmaster dies pretty unceremoniously.
Yeah.
In the
She
opening,
gets shot in the head.
shot in the head, and that's it.
Yeah.
Very quick. But I don't know. Other spoiler thoughts or things you can discuss, Alan.
Yeah. I mean, we could just harp on the Taskmaster because it happens pretty early in the movie. But yeah, I mean, never takes off her mask. She's just there. You would never know the actress who played her. And it's the same actress from Black Widow. Just she's there for an instant and just gets blown in the head, and that was it. The other thing is you notice it with Ghost, but we're back to the old. If I have to say something, I have to take my mask off. I have to hit the button, and the mask comes up. That's still there. I don't know. I hate to really spoil much until Friday, but let's put it this way: anything we say will not be surprising in any way. To me, the Fantastic Four appearance at the end was that a spoiler, or was that pretty much how we assumed it was going to happen?
I don't know. That's they wanted to tease the next movie, so that's it. The biggest spoiler is this is not an ensemble movie. It's Yelena's movie.
Mm-hmm.
She is the lead of the movie, and I don't think she has the gravitas to pull it off.
What's funny is you have a Captain America on the team, but who's the leader of the new Avengers?
Yelena?
Yelena, yeah.
Yeah, she's clearly the head of these new Avengers. And so what this makes this is a joke because the Avengers, it should be actually Winter Soldier. It should be Sebastian Stan. He's just the logical leader, and they just don't give him the lines or the stuff to do. And yeah, it's
maybe he is the leader and we just didn't get it.
I don't know, man. I'm going to see it again and we'll see.
Yeah. And then, Bob is still around. And the idea that this is the menacing villain just tells you that he's not that menacing, and he wasn't that menacing in the movie either.
Yeah.
But Bob's back.
Well, there are more things to spoil. This is the main crux of it, the end of the film and the post-credit scenes. So make of that what you will. I'll be seeing it a second time. I'll see if my opinion changes somewhat. But I doubt it. It's a disappointment. I was looking for something new and this didn't hold up. Final thoughts, Alan, before we go to comments.
Yeah, can't wait to spoil it more on Friday. Changer of Ways for $2. So they ripped off Mystery Men for fuck's sake. ADL Maximus Rabidus for $1.99. Do they show Yelena's bazongas?
That can be seen in Oppenheimer.
Yes. ADL is 24. I'll give Marvel some kudos for writing this joke all the way into the ground and taking it all the way to release. Justin Channels. I love the original woman who is the key to everything story. We have not seen that in a while.
It is literally that.
Mm-hmm.
It is literally that.
At least Bob was a dude.
Yeah. Bob was a dude.
Yeah.
So, well, there you are. We have maybe a final, you know what? We're going to save those news stories. We'll move them around.
Okay.
Because those are kind of evergreens. We're just going to do a shorter show today because we don't have an interview. So we're going to leave it there. We will be back on Friday with a more extensive review of Thunderbolts. Another Simple Favor on Amazon Prime. We'll talk about The Death of Snow White, a movie called Daydreamers. No, they moved that. Rust is in theaters. Alan, it's playing near you.
Is it?
The Surfer with Nick Cage, which I have seen. So we will talk about more than Thunderbolts on Friday. So please come back for our Friday Film Thread review bonanza. And we're going to leave it there. I want to thank our mod, Lord Thoth, MK Solid, Atomic Lori, Glenn Nuccio, and we'll be back. Alan, anything else? Did I forget?
No, I'll be at the Los Angeles Asian Pacific Film Festival tomorrow over at the DGA. There's going to be a party there. Yeah, it's a film festival. The LA Asian.
Why did you tell me when?
It's tomorrow.
All right. Well, don't you have movies to go see?
I may go see it before because apparently all the movies tomorrow are sold out. So I'll probably be at the Grove or something.
Your work never ends.
I know.
Your work never ends. Thank you to everyone who sent us a super chat. Thank you to everyone just hanging out and chatting with us. We'll talk more Thunderbolts on Friday and other movies that are playing, because there are. And sorry for the technical issues today. Could not be helped, but we'll be back on Friday. So thank you so much. Alan?
Let's get out of here.
Wait, do that again.
Let's get out of here.
No, wait. Hum the theme to Sherlock Holmes right now.
Sherlock Holmes, do-do-do-do-do, Sherlock Holmes, do-do-do-do. Sherlock Holmes, do-do-do-do-do, Sherlock Holmes, do-do-do-do. Sherlock Holmes, do-do-do-do-do, Sherlock Holmes, do-do-do-do. Sherlock Holmes, do-do-do-do.
That was awful. That was awful.
What you delayed the show's ending for?
Yeah. Alan, what do you got to say?
Let's get out of here.